I'm guiding you through a short single stick workout to open up the shoulders, chest, and spine. This is a great opportunity to take a break from your desk, or if you have a long drive, this will make you feel better, shake off those cobwebs, and just make you feel like a human again. I am using one long stick, and I'll leave a link in the description below for where you can get your stick mobility sticks along with a discount code. So let's get to it. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, click the bell for notifications, like this video, and be sure to come back to this stick mobility playlist for more. Today we are doing a quick warm-up / workout that should feel really great. It should be a great opportunity to take a break from your work day, or if you've been on a long trip and you've been sitting for a long time, this will make you feel better. So I have a long 7-foot stick here from Stick Mobility. You may not have as long a stick, that's totally fine. You just want it to be long enough that you can have your arms wider than hip width apart. So feet are about hip width, coming towards the front of our mat, and your arms are a little bit wider. As long as you're comfortable. It doesn't have to be, stretching as far as you can go. You're just really reaching. I'm also using this stick because it makes me really mindful. I have to really think about how I'm moving so that I don't hit the wall, the ceiling, all the different things. So that's kind of a great benefit of it too. So first move, we're going to go around the world. I want you to think about starting upright and tall. Hands are holding onto that stick, and you're going to come around nice and slow and over. We're doing about 5 reps in each direction. 2, 3, and now if you want, you can add a little, let gravity do the work. Come around. Fold as much as you feel comfortable. And down. Roll up. We're going in the other direction. So you're going to whatever your comfortable range is, but we're really opening up the shoulders, the chest here. Nice and slow. 2. Maybe you want to add on a little bit. Little tiny bit of extra twist around the body. Maybe you come all the way down. Breathing. All the way. Folding forward. Take a moment, just hang here. Nice soft bend in your knees as you gently roll up vertebrae by vertebrae. Head is the last thing to come up. Whew. Do a little hair flip for you because my hair is kind of wild today. So now, hands are still a little bit wider than hip width. This is pretty wide, right? As far as is comfortable for you. We're going to reach up high and allow your hands to fall open behind your body. You may not get to this place where I am, but the wider your hands are on that stick, the easier it is. So you're pulling that stick apart as you open up, lift up overhead, only going to wherever is comfortable for you. And then as you come back, as soon as the stick hits your peripheral vision, you shorten that stick. You try and squeeze the stick, push it together. Here we go, 3 more. Pull that stick apart, lift up and over, and back. Squeezing that stick as it comes into view. If you have this kind of range that you see that I have, great. But you don't have to get there, right? I don't even need to do that. I can just go where I feel the work. So pulling that stick apart, and all of a sudden, right here, this feels like a really nice stretch. I feel my shoulders opening. I could go a little bit further. Now I feel it through my shoulder blades, into my lats, and then pressing back. shortening that stick. The other big thing is you may find as you're doing these overhead, they're called shoulder dislocates, you might have one arm way up here and the other arm is not as high. So you're really hoping to find some kind of even movement from both arms. Everybody's gonna have a little bit of a favored side, one side that has more range than the other typically. So that's normal, but aim for making them even as possible. So now we're gonna add on a little bit. You're gonna reach up high, overhead, and then making a big W with your elbows, pull that stick down behind your back. You don't want it up on your neck. You want to pull down, squeezing those elbows together. Feel your chest open up and proud, and then overhead and back down. I'm going to show you one more in this direction, and then I'm going to turn around so you can see my back a little bit better. Pulling that stick apart, lifting overhead. So now we're not really trying to go much further, much past our heads, and then making a W, pulling down just to wherever is comfortable. You might get to your shoulders, you might get a little lower. It depends on the day, right? And up, and then shorten that stick as you come back down. Let me show you from behind, just so you see where my arms go and how they look, because I think it's helpful. Lifting up overhead, not going too much further past my head, and then elbows down, and press up, and shorten the stick. So as I lift, I am engaging my glutes up, and as I pull down, I'm using my glutes to prevent me from overarching, right? We don't want this happening. So tuck that pelvis under, squeeze the glutes. Do one more from the front. Right, you're tucked here. Lift up overhead, pull that stick apart, and come down. And up, and shorten that stick. As you come back down, whew, take a breath. Shake out those hands. Moving on, we're going to do a bent over row. So I will do this facing forward, but I kind of want to show you really quickly. Another great element of using this stick is really checking your form when you do this hinge, right? You kind of hit your hips. You don't really have to hit yourself, but you know where you want to bend. Right there at the hip, right there at the crease. Here. So this is a pretty common thing you'll see in people who do a lot of kettlebelling or weight training. They find it here. Using this stick, another great option is bringing one hand up by, I'm going to switch my hands so you can see me a little bit better. One hand up by the base of your neck and one by the base of your spine. And you want to keep points of contact, head, shoulder blades, and bum. So I'm bringing my hand a little bit higher. It's really about wherever you can reach comfortably, but I want to keep the connection between my sits bone and the stick, as well as my head and shoulders. So feet are hip width apart, and I'm going to hinge. Doesn't have to be huge, right? It can be pretty small as long as I'm connected. If you find, oh, now you've gone too far. So this is a nice practice to just see where you're at and see how you can make sure you're connected all the way around. So finding that hinge that we have just worked on. Hands are in an overhand grip. You're going to have your hands just a little bit more than hip width apart, not quite as wide as they were before. Find that hinge, right there. Hands come down. We're going to row up, press down, and then lift up overhead. Here we go. Press up like a row, down, lift up overhead. We've changed our position, and now we're limiting how much our shoulders will allow us to open up overhead. That row And now lift. If you feel like you're pulling on your neck or anything, horse lips is a great option to relax the neck. And again, you can always reset. So here we go again, finding that hinge, boop, and row. And now open. Row. Open. Let's go one more. Row. Open. And back up to standing. So you'll probably notice as you go through a few repetitions that you're able to reach your arms a little bit higher overhead. That's the benefit of doing this over and over again, all of these different kinds of mobility exercises and training. So next we're going to get a nice shoulder stretch. I'm going to bring my hand to the very, very top of my stick. This is a very long stick, so you might not see it in the video, but it's just pushing down, right? And I can put this stick, because it's as tall as I am, it's taller than me, I can use this stick to push, right? And this is kind of like a hang. So I don't want the stick on the floor, because I also want to give you the option, if your stick is not quite as long, I'm just bringing my arm up overhead. I want it pretty much vertical, wherever is comfortable to you. You get the benefit of this stretch, whether your arm is out to the side or moving anywhere up overhead. So I'm going to hold on to the bottom end of this stick. Top hand is pushing down on the very, very top end. And I don't have to go real far. I can just keep my hand kind of right at about hip height, like I'm holding a soda can or something. My thumb is up as opposed to down. And I'm just going to push gently, pushing down on the stick with the top hand, pushing up into that top hand with the bottom hand, right? So we're here, and now I'm going to make little tiny circles with my top hand. So I want to move that shoulder, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now we're going to go the other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Whether you want to do the circles, you want to stick with just holding there, you will still feel a beautiful stretch in the armpit, in the shoulder, all over. Just to show you a little bit of a different view, I'm going to turn to the side, doing the other side. Same thing. Hand reaches for the very top of the stick. My other hand is coming to right about my hip. I can even use my hip to help guide where my arm goes. Arm is up overhead, push and pull. And create those little circles. And other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. It's a small move. It doesn't have to be huge. But you already feel, oh, okay, yeah, shoulders are open. So again, you can always change that angle. If your arm does not go all the way overhead, bring it out to the side and push. Same exact positioning, and you'll feel that stretch. And perhaps after doing a few, you'll notice you can reach a little bit higher. Okay, last move today. It's a little variation on the lateral bow that I love so, so much. So bringing my feet just kind of hip width apart. The stick is maybe, I want to say 6 to 8 inches away from me. My inside hand is going to be right at where I can make that 90-degree angle with my elbow. My outside, before we do the actual lateral bow that you know, I want you to stand here, push that stick down into the ground. That outside leg is going to reach behind. Press the balls of your feet into the ground. And now reach your hand up overhead. Find the top of the stick. You can stay right here and you feel a beautiful stretch. You're leaning in to the stick, still pressing that stick down into the ground. The whole lateral line of the body is feeling this beautiful stretch. And release. We go again. Stick is here for support and stability. Press that stick down into the ground. If you need it a little closer to you, that's totally fine. You do whatever is comfortable and safe. So bringing that outside foot behind and around, pushing the balls of the feet into the ground. Nice little soft bend in the posting leg knee. And reach up tall. And just reach for that stick. That's all you need to do, and you'll already feel the stretch. So if you don't have one of these stick mobility sticks, this is a wonderful option because your stick might not bend the same way the stick mobility sticks do. Now you can stay with this, and you'll notice as I reach my arm up, my hand, palm of the face is away from me, thumb is pointing down, okay? So now you can stay there, or you can add on with me. We're gonna move into that lateral bow. So, same position. Leg reaches back, arm reaches up, and now we can push out. So I'm pulling in with the top hand and pulling it toward my body, pushing that stick away with the bottom hand. And release. Take a breath, take a moment, reset yourself. Here we go. Outside foot kind of curtsies behind. Reach that arm up. Already I feel a stretch, but I want to add on. So I'm going to push that stick away from me, pulling in with the top hand, thinking about my ear is not next to my shoulder. I'm giving as much space as I can as I push the stick away with my bottom hand. And release. Oh, one more time on this side. So you don't want to have this, right? As we're in that position, try and think about bringing that shoulder down. Like maybe you have enough room for 4 fingers or your whole hand to go there. Here we go, one more. Outside foot comes back behind. Reach up high. You could stay here or add on, press. And now you can look down and look up. And ease off. Other side. Same thing, right? So here we go. Feet are hip width apart. That stick is maybe 8 to 10 inches, 6 to 8 inches, I'd say, away from your feet. Kind of in line with your hips. And outside foot, where's my arm? I'm gonna have that nice 90-degree angle. And now, outside foot comes around. So it's right in between the stick and my other foot. And then I reach up tall. Oh, just try to reach for that stick. It feels so good. Oof. Breathe. You'll really notice the stretch in that exhalation. Come back. Here we go. Outside foot steps back behind. Reach up, find that stick. Ooh, yes. I'm a little tighter on this side. It's harder for this side of my body to let go. So a couple extra breaths. Taking that time to really just find the awareness of how I'm feeling, what needs more attention. So now you can stick with those, or you can add on with me with that little press into a lateral bow. So here we go. Outside foot steps back behind, pressing the balls of your feet into the ground. Reach up high. Pulling in with that top hand, pushing away with the bottom hand. And ease off. 2 more, just like that. Outside foot steps back. Find a nice little soft bend in your knees if you are adding on for that lateral bow, because it will give you more stability. Reach up high, find the stick. Take a moment, Just get yourself set here and then press. Shoulders pack down. Breathe. One more, just like that. Outside foot steps behind, in between the stick and your other foot. Reaching up high, find the stick and press. Top hand pulls in, bottom hand presses away. Now you can add on by looking down and looking up. And ease off. Oh, shake that out. Phew. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope this helps you. I hope you feel great after doing this. I would love to hear how you got on in the comments, if you enjoyed this workout, what you would like to see next. I am always happy to make videos for you at your request. So again, the link for these kinds of sticks is in my description below, along with a discount code. I love these sticks. Just that little bend you see in the lateral bow makes all the difference. It intensifies the stretch. You can always do these workouts with a broomstick, a dowel, a Swiffer, whatever you have at home. So thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you.